Let me share a story with you. It's not just about money. It's about something deeper. It's about longing, misalignment, and how we sometimes look for peace in all the wrong places. It's about someone I know. Let's call her Maya. Maya was in her early 30s. Intelligent. Kind. Incredibly thoughtful. The kind of person who always asked how you were doing, and really meant it. But like many of us, she was quietly wrestling with something under the surface. It wasn't just about her finances. On paper, she was managing. Paying her rent. Buying groceries. Holding a job. But inside, there was this undercurrent of fear. A quiet, gnawing voice whispering that it wasn't enough. That she wasn't enough. She told me once, in a vulnerable moment, I don't know what it is. I'll be walking through a store or scrolling through my feed and suddenly, it's like I have to have something. It doesn't even matter what. A dress. A new lamp. Some gadget I didn't even know existed 2 minutes ago. It hit me like a wave. And if I can't get it, I feel restless, almost sick. But when I do buy it, the relief lasts maybe an hour. Then the guilt kicks in. Have you ever felt that way? Like the act of buying was less about the object, and more about trying to soothe something deeper? That's exactly what was happening to Maya. And here's the thing, she wasn't materialistic. She wasn't greedy. She wasn't irresponsible. She was just out of alignment. And her brain was trying to fix it the only way it knew how, through external gratification. But that craving to buy, to consume, to own, wasn't about the thing at all. It was about wanting to feel better. To feel whole. To feel secure, when everything inside her felt uncertain. That day, I said something to her that stuck. Maya, maybe what you're really craving isn't the product, it's the peace. Maybe the thing you want isn't the item in your cart, but the feeling you think it'll give you. And it was like a light turned on. She realized that all along, she'd been trying to fill a void that couldn't be filled with stuff. Because the emptiness she was feeling wasn't material, it was emotional. It was spiritual. It was energetic. And here's the truth that she, and many of us, often forget. That void? It only really gets filled when we return to who we truly are. When we stop measuring our worth by our bank accounts, or our closets, or what society says we should have by now. Because who Maya really was someone secure. Someone adequate. Someone abundant. Not in a loud, flashy, look at me kind of way. But in that quiet, deeply rooted way. Like a tree that knows the storm will pass. The version of her that was craving those purchases? That was just the fearful part. The tired part. The version that had forgotten, momentarily, that she already had access to peace. That alignment, real alignment, was already within her, waiting to be remembered. And so she started doing something radical. She slowed down. Before every purchase, she paused. She asked herself not, can I afford this? But why do I want this? She journaled. She meditated. She began speaking to herself like someone she loved. And gradually, the craving softened. Not because she had more money, but because she stopped trying to fix her emotions with transactions. And here's where it gets beautiful. When she began to truly align with her inner self, her secure, capable, deeply worthy self, money began to flow more easily. Not because she chased it harder. Not because she learned the newest hustle strategy. But because she stopped blocking it with fear. She allowed it to come in, instead of holding it away with guilt, shame, and doubt. And yes, she still bought things. But now, her purchases felt different. No longer driven by lack, but by curiosity, delight, joy, There was no guilt. No internal bargaining. No drama. Just a simple, clean, peaceful yes. You see, when you buy something from a place of alignment, it enhances your life. When you buy it from a place of lack, it tries to become your life. And nothing you buy will ever be enough if you're using it to prove your worth. That's what Maya learned. And honestly, that's what I'm still learning too. Because this isn't just about money. It's about identity. It's about who you believe you are, and whether you trust that who you are is enough. So let me say this to you now, if you need the reminder, you are allowed to define your own standards. You are allowed to want more, but not because you feel like less. You are allowed to be abundant, and grounded, and joyful with money. Not just because you worked hard for it, but because you're worthy of it. Let no one else set the rules for what your abundance should look like. Not society. Not your parents. Not your peers. You are the only one who gets to write that story. And if you feel a craving today, not just for something you can buy, but for something you can feel, pause. Ask yourself gently, what am I really craving right now? Maybe it's rest. Maybe it's connection. Maybe it's safety, or inspiration, or a return to your own sense of worth. You don't need to spend to feel that. You just need to remember. Remember who you really are. Remember what matters. And remember this, when you align with your true self, not only does life feel better, it flows. It softens. It expands. Just like Maya. Just like you can too.